Before I joined the army, I used to work in retail. So for 5 years, I used to dress windows, which is quite a lot different from being a combat medic. Everyone was in kind of danger of being part of this PlayStation generation. Everyone said, that no one would cope as well as the old generations. But you see the young lads. I've seen 18-year-olds, and then all of a sudden, within 2 months of hardship again, they turn into grown men. It's almost like where did that boy go? Where did that annoying boy go? My first sort of big, if you call it more of a long-range patrol, was Marja. The fact that it was one of the most secure places, for growing opium should have told everyone that it wasn't going to be a nothing. The day that we drove into Marja, as we sort of set off, you get that kind of feeling that something's slightly... It was just too quiet, you just sort of think there's just something quite eerie about the place. And on the way in, we identified and sort of found IEDs that were kind of set up for somebody coming in. Thinking about it now, it's just an obvious place to ambush someone, but when you're committed to moving, you've got to move. People started leaving their homes and kind of running, and it was just like, right, it's going to come, but you just don't want it to be your vehicle. And that sounds, I'm sure every soldier would feel the same, because clearly you don't want to be the one getting hit, but someone's going to get hit. And it's that weird feeling of, you're not thinking, who would I like to get hit? You're just thinking, we're going to get hit, and I just hope it's not our vehicle. I didn't want to die like that. If that was going to ever happen, I didn't want to be sat somewhere and just for it just to happen. I wanted to almost face it, if that makes sense. And and then there was a couple of sort of massive explosions, and then we were ambushed from the left and the rear. So it was like a perfect, from their perspective, it was almost textbook. And I remember just looking at the interpreter, just thinking, you just get that sort of eye lock, and it was just like, shit. And I could see what he was thinking, and he could possibly see what I was thinking. And then, but this is all, it feels like it's going slowly, but it's not. It's sort of split-second stuff. And then you can't really see rounds pinging, but you can kind of feel. One of the things when you're going to return fire is to try and figure out where the fire's coming from before you start just firing off rounds. It's irresponsible, and it just doesn't really work. That's not how we do things. Probably more stupidity than bravery. Obviously shot back up to get eyes on the whoever or whatever was engaging our vehicle. You've got an OC sat in the front, his driver. There's windows there, so we had to neutralise the threat. What I decided to do, got eyes on the enemy insurgent that was engaging our vehicle, and I fired until he dropped, and then just like I suppose any other soldier, just began to look covering arcs to engage others if needed. I didn't have to think about it. It just happened because I was a soldier, and that's it was as simple as that. And it's between him and me at that point. That happened really quickly, and then my OC shouted through the back that we'd taken a casualty. So it was weird. It was the weirdest feeling, because I just kept thinking, I don't know, I was doing what I needed to do, and then it was almost like people would probably think that was the hard bit, but then now was the hard bit, because then we'd had a casualty.